All right, let's start this show again because that's some bullshit, Jay.
Fact check your shit, Jay.
Let's do a show like goddamn professionals. Hello and welcome to Man of Biscuit, episode number 39, your weekly Netflix culture podcast. I am RJ Volosky. With me, as always, are my co-hosts Jacob Gamble, TJ Rathburn. All right. So we had yet another celebrity death that is near and dear to us all this week. Alan Rickman passed, and Die Hard, Harry Potter, Dogma, so many other things. Alan Rickman.
Love Actually.
Love Actually, yeah. And I mean, the most iconic voice I can think of in terms of actors in general. There are some actors with voices that you might be able to confuse. You can never confuse Alan Rickman. Mm-hmm. You can never confuse him. And every time he was on the screen, he was such a presence that you were always drawn to his character. Whether he was a villain, he was usually a villain, or if he was a villain that turned out to be a deep in the feels good guy like Snape, Alan Rickman will be deeply missed. And I think of all the tributes that I've seen this week, Kevin Smith's was probably the most touching in terms of how he felt after having dealt with him in the filming of Dogma, where he played Metatron. But as with last week, we will move on to happier things, I hope. Yeah, happier things, because the big news this week that we came across had to do with Netflix. Netflix is really making those moves to be a premium content creator. They're upping their game in terms of original content. Jessica Jones is getting a season 2. That was in question a lot longer than Daredevil season 2 was. Daredevil season 2. I don't
understand why.
Yeah, well, yeah, you were the guy that was like...
It's because they used everything good from her comics in the first season.
Not entirely true. This is slightly spoilery, but if you've read it at all, it's covered in the first few issues, so I'm going to let it go. But there is something that will probably never show up in the shows that I really loved about the Alias comics, and that is when she's trailing a woman who turns out to be having an affair with a certain Avenger that TJ really loves. But anyway, that's as spoilery as I'll get on that. I don't think you'll see that in the show because that Avenger is like big time in the movies, and Netflix is still Netflix, and the MCU is just becoming this multi-tiered landscape, kind of like the comics are, actually, which is really exciting. So in any case, yes, Jessica Jones getting season 2. The Punisher might be getting his own solo series, so that's pretty exciting. And then they announced a bunch of other new series and continuations, but out of that lot, what's that?
Kimmy Schmidt.
Yes, Kimmy Schmidt. That's where I'm going. The most exciting thing. Unbreakable. They're alive, damn it.
It's a miracle.
Unbreakable. They're alive, damn it. Females are strong
as hell.
There we go. All right. Yes, we got that out of our system.
Never, ever do that again, either of you.
I'm not going to be able to stop for like 4 days.
4 days, yes. Yes.
It is one of those songs that just straight gets stuck in your head.
Yeah,
it's one of those things.
I mean, it was such a great show.
Happy.
I did read a little bit because most people are probably already familiar with this, but the first season of Kimmy Schmidt was developed for NBC before Netflix picked it up. And so this will actually be the first season that was developed for Netflix, which is pretty exciting. And it's already been renewed for a season 3. So we're getting at least 2 more seasons of Kimmy Schmidt, and I could not be happier. I don't know, guys, with that Netflix news, what are your thoughts? What do you guys, I've been talking for far too long, so somebody else has to talk in this show. It's Man of Biscuit. It's not the RJ show.
It's typically the RJ show. I mean, you have commandeered every intro since day one.
Commandeered? You motherfuckers need to just step up and say, I'll do it. That's what I'm saying. Everyone in the world is lazy except for me. Go ahead and talk, Jay.
Remember my attempt at the cold open?
Yeah, it was awful. That's why I still do it.
Yeah. I remember I recorded one once, but it never got used.
Yeah, it was, well, To be fair, all right, going back here. People who watch this show don't care. We're terrible. We're awful. We're just an awful show. But you love us, so you keep watching us, and we do appreciate that. But
train wreck.
Yes, that train wreck. No, the time that you recorded that cold open was about the time that we moved away from that cold open. So.
Yeah, when we were initially doing a cold open that was all voiceover over
and we're like, we're going to be a serious podcast. We had no idea what we were doing.
And now we're just all like, hey guys!
Hey guys! You love us. You know you love us. We love you. Let's just engage in a love fest. But Jay!
Alright, but
who nobody loves.
To a certain... Whoa.
Don't derail him right now. He's trying to talk.
Wow. Anyway, I don't know. I take exception to Marvel's multi-tiered thought process, and would really like to see some of those characters from the screen come down to the Netflix level. Even if it's just like a four-issue miniseries kind of thing. I mean, I would honestly kill to have a Daredevil four-part deal to complement before or after the movie next month. I mean, there are things that you could do that I think you should do, but they're not doing it. And I like the way that they're doing it. I mean, they're taking the Hell's Kitchen aspect and expanding on it, and I do like that. But I think that I'd like to see.
I would agree
that I have had the opportunity to see.
I would agree very much. I'd like to see some crossover in this. I don't think with the economics and the politics of Hollywood as it is that it's feasible. Yeah. But I do very much agree. I would love to see it. I would eat it up with a spoon.
Oh yeah. Like it would be great if you saw either way, and it'd be much easier to see Netflix characters that go up to the big screen than it would be to see big screen characters go down to Netflix. Because regardless, they have to be paid, and they have contracts that require them to do so many pieces of work. Do you really want to lose out on a film because they did 3 minutes showing up in Jessica Jones season 2? Like, those are the things that you're going to have to contend with, and that's why we're probably not going to see this.
Right? Yeah. That's the reality, but
that's one of those things that eventually could probably be worked into that kind of thing. I mean,
we'll see,
but it's
right?
not in contracts yet. I wouldn't be surprised if there were people, especially like there's already one person you can point at who has a contract for both, and that's Kobe Smulders, who plays Maria Hill both on the big screen and on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
So they can put it into contracts. Just
for
most
B
of the
and
big
C tier actors, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They just haven't done it yet with most of the people, and they certainly haven't done it with the big names.
Like Robert Downey Jr. and
right. Yeah. You're not going to pay Robert Downey Jr. his level of money to do something on Netflix.
Right. No, a lot of these people are so passionate about the fact that they're in the Marvel comics and things like that I think that you probably could.
Well, again, that kind of comes back.
You're not going to get Idris Elba to ever play anything to do with a Marvel character again, but he's an exception to the rule.
Well, yes and no, because I think you do have a lot of... I mean, that's just the nature of how Hollywood in general works, really. You have the different tiers of actors, and some tiers you can get to cross over. And to be fair, I mean, there was probably a time where you would think you would never see somebody like James Spader on TV, but he's on TV now. I don't know that Gwyneth Paltrow or Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Hemsworth even is really in that tier right now, but maybe, I don't know. I think the longer the MCU goes on, you might see some more of that, and if they really feel that the Netflix and the broadcast television side of their business is lucrative enough, that maybe they would be willing to invest in that. But just last week on Man of Biscuit, we were talking about how already the alphabet networks are thinking that superhero shows are too expensive. And if you add the special effects budget to the fees that you have to pay A-list Hollywood actors, then that might, strangle these efforts in the grave.
Right,
I don't know.
I'm not talking about the alphabet networks. Ultimately, I'm talking about Netflix.
Well,
which is distinctly similar to a premium.
Yeah.
Premium
Okay,
channel,
I can see
HBO
that.
Example. And ultimately, I mean, what the heck was the show that you were absolutely in love
Well,
with?
yeah, okay, so yeah,
True Detectives, for
I
example.
think what you get what you're saying there with Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey and a season of True Detective. Obviously, those guys aren't getting paid C-list actor money, so yeah, I can actually concede your point there for once, Jay. If Netflix, which actually I read in the article that we're drawing a lot of this information from, Netflix is committing something on the order of $6 billion to original content.
Yeah, they have gone
Yeah,
to they've steadily gone to the point where they really like one of their mission statements when I ran through and renewed my Netflix membership when they locked me in for that yearly rate for the rate for the next year, but they don't know what it's going to be after that. As I continued to read, they're like, "Look, we're committed to doing this original content thing. We're steadily losing and they openly admitted to steadily losing contracts
right.
because of inflated prices, and that's eventually kind of the way that they're going to go with it.
Yeah.
Is that's
Well, they might take that money and invest it in a bunch of shows like they have been, or I don't know necessarily that they will invest it in like getting somebody like Robert Downey Jr. to appear on Daredevil. They might take the money that Robert Downey Jr. would need for appearing on an episode of Netflix MCU and create an entire new series with it. So, it depends on how they decide. It depends, I think, on the sustained popularity of the MCU, which I will concede is something that has really kind of overtaken my initial expectations, which I'm thrilled about. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that the MCU is still so huge, like what are we now? We're like almost 8 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, almost 8 years after its inception, and it's still so huge. I think maybe we're on the peak of the bell curve. We might see what happens. I don't know.
Oh, speaking of things that have hit the peak of their bell curve, Star Wars fell to
Star
third
Wars.
this week.
Yes.
Third this
Star
week.
Wars, yeah. Star Wars is still going strong in the theaters. We also
Not
had
as strong as it was. I mean, they
well,
It's
fell.
also been it's also been what, a month?
it's been
Yeah,
over a
but they
month, yeah.
fell to
No,
right
actually it has been just about a
again.
month
I
right now,
mean,
yeah. Yeah, but it
fell
doesn't
to
matter
some
because you
ridiculous.
know what? I saw Kylo Ren play Aladdin this
Yeah.
week. And it was awesome. And
RJ, we're losing you to the left.
you can still see me, but I like the lean, but that's fine.
You're like literally like this portions of the time.
So anyway, so
And
we're
it happens every week.
It
yep.
does,
Yeah, I mean,
and yet we haven't lost a single subscriber to it.
I'm just
no,
gonna do this.
no, but that's straight.
Wait. I'll do this.
Do the peck pop of love. All right.
So anyway, we were talking, and
Jay, sit up.
oh,
we're all getting back. God damn it, men! We're professionals.
we are.
No.
We are.
We are.
This is exactly how you're supposed to frame this shot. You're
All right,
supposed
so
Sometimes
going
this
back.
way. Sometimes this way.
All right, going back to
now it's my cat's show. It's my cat's show.
All right, I'm gonna zoom in on Jay. He's gonna save the show. Plot twist.
I'm gonna say what?
You're gonna save the show. Plot twist.
I'm gonna save. Oh wow, yeah, here we go. Things that'll make you want to rage.
Look
quit.
at the camera if you want to save the show.
Anyway, going back to the Kylo Ren as Aladdin, and he also did the undercover boss thing, which
Yes.
actually they really do. That was my favorite of the two of them. And I'm sorry, but the broadcasters breaking the broadcasters talking about Aaron Rodgers' broken legs over and over and over again took all of them last week. I could not stop laughing when I saw that, just because the character's physics were just phenomenal. But this is not sports related. This
is Sports Biscuit right now, and I'm just going
Sports
to take
Biscuit.
30 seconds, not even 30 seconds. I'm going to take 10 seconds to say the Packers got smoked, and I was overjoyed.
Well, Smoked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far, man.
With that last second catch, that was hilarious to me.
That was a parallel to how they defeated Detroit. Yes,
exactly. And my friends and I were talking like just in the lead up. We're like, "What if they did what they did to Michigan?" No, there's no way. And like 12 seconds later, boop, and we're like, "Ah!"
Oh, but you know
but
what?
Then
they lost. Yes.
Yeah.
Smoked. That's all.
But
I care
anyway,
about.
which one did you guys prefer? Did you guys prefer Aladdin or
Undercover Boss?
Undercover Boss, yes, but Aladdin was really good, and I think it was really great to see him hosting Saturday Night Live in general, because Saturday Night Live over the course of the last 67 to 70 years that it's been on the air has always been a little hit and miss, but I think they're on their best when they're tapping into the cultural zeitgeist, and that zeitgeist doesn't happen to be Donald Trump, but who hosted 3 or 4 weeks ago. But anyway,
did he really?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. He really did. Yeah. So sorry, people who watch this show that are Trump supporters, which are exactly zero, I'm sure. But yeah,
they better be.
right. If you're a Trump supporter, you turn this video off, or I swear to God, I will find you. Anyway,
You realize that he's now just gonna hire people to beat us up.
He's got people listening into every video and everything.
Yeah, he has his own version of the NSA.
NSA.
Right?
Yeah. Or just a random algorithm that'll troll every every YouTube video that comes out.
It's gonna show up at my door, knock on it, I open it up. There's nobody there. I get hit with a toupee out of nowhere. It's covering my eyes.
No!
Spirit gum in my eyes. I'm like, no. And then it comes out of nowhere with the crowbar. Boom!
I got your New York values right here. All right.
Oh, good.
And my last words would be like, Bernie Sanders will avenge me.
I feel the burn, you sadistic bastard. All right.
So
on that note, we are actually running out of time, aren't we?
Comments. We got to do comments.
Yeah, we got to get into comments. Before we do that, I would like to sincerely apologize for this episode.
God, for both episodes. Everything we've done this week.
Everything we've done this week has been a complete and total train wreck. But you know what? You just got to keep doing it, and maybe something good will come out every now and then.
Well, let's go back to that real quick before.
All right. Go back to what, Jay?
Rage quit.
Rage quit.
Hey, let's. Okay, first off, the thing in and of itself was to spur that kind of emotion. It should be a memorable experience, and yet
we could not remember anything.
We had such a difficult time coming up with 5 of them. And we're a team of professional quitters here. I mean, look at the show. It's freaking terrible. And
but if we were a team of professional quitters, this would have ended.
Man of Biscuit would have been done after episode what was it, 12 and 13, when we did that ridiculously stupid Mice and Mystics thing.
Mice and Mystics.
And not that I mean, because I think Josh still watches the show, and we had a great time over there. The game was fun. But we did not know what the hell we were doing when it came.
That was a misstep on our part to air.
Yeah.
I'm not hanging with you, man, but ultimately that did not translate well.
Mea culpa, because I thought, you just play a game, you put it on camera, it'd be good. No. But,
someday when we get the logistics of that figured out, I would love to come back and revisit that and invite Josh on for a great game of sliding and rolling dice. But till then, it can't happen.
Right.
But I mean, no, we are as far as a group goes, and as far as a culture goes, a culture of quitters, man. I mean, we quit a lot of things with just the drop of a hat, and things that make us angry. Nerd rage is, it was a commonplace thing before video games.
Yeah, nerd rage, but I think there's also I think, and if you're talking about it from a cultural standpoint, I think there's also the aspect where you have to consider that there are so many options for our free time and our attention outside of what we have to commit to basic survival instincts that it's very easy to move on. And the idea of boredom just really doesn't exist anymore, because we all have our smartphones. We all have 30 million different listicle sites that we can turn to look at you know.
And yet I am still so frequently bored.
Well, you think you are. But are you really? Because if you were really bored, maybe you would be filling your time with something more productive. And that is the old lady looking over your shoulder, condemning your lifestyle choices that we are going to end this week's show on, I think.
We need to do comments!
Right, yeah, going into comments. So, TJ, you have prepared some comments.
Okay, so we said we'd get back to doing the comments. We're going to get back to doing the comments. Last week on our YouTube page, we got 2 comments, both from Beth Allen. One was regarding Star Wars. Yeah, Beth! One was regarding Star Wars from our top 5 best things episode. And it was in regards actually to why there weren't more stars in it. And she pointed out that, as we did as well, that Simon Pegg was in it. She pointed out, though, that also that Carrie Fisher's daughter was in it. And that she felt that you can't have too many like superstars in a film like that because it would distract people from taking something away from the movie. Her other comment was just purely niceness about how she appreciated the show, and also the cup, and also the reference to the book club that she is in. So it was all about just appreciating that we were talking about her.
So if you want to shamelessly flatter us, that is how you get your shit read.
Oh yeah.
No, but you were, you know, this has become a thing because we do. I mean, I'm not going to lie. We talked about the guy in Egypt that watched us last week, but
Thank you, guy in Egypt.
Yes, thank you very much. If you ever watch another episode, you're going to hear like 2 call-outs now. But we are still a podcast that is mostly watched by real-life friends. Let's be real. And we do appreciate, as TJ said last week, every last bit of feedback and engagement that we get. But at the same time, we're not really professionals, so going over and trying to gather everything up is a little bit cumbersome in some regards. So here's the thing. Here's the deal we'll make with you. All right, from this point going forward. If you want to leave a comment at any point, just to say, hey guys, you're my friend and I appreciate what you're doing. We read that. We appreciate it. We love it. If you want to hear your comment read before tens of people on the internet, then go ahead and leave it on our YouTube page because that's where we'll be looking. All right.
Yes.
So that's the deal we'll make with you, and we'll go forward with that. But seriously, guys, we do appreciate every single viewer we have. We do this for the viewers because otherwise we'd just be hanging out probably in my apartment, getting drunk and playing Diablo 3.
Wait. Why are we doing this then?
Right. Because we have other friends that we want to reach out to.
And we love our viewers. We love our viewers more than we like alcohol, video games, and ourselves and each other.
Well,
I don't know about the truth of that. I can't exactly back up the veracity of my statements on this show.
That's fair.
Yeah,
right.
I would as well. There were 2 that I wanted to bring up from Steve from last week.
All right, Jay.
On his top 5 list.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of things that we missed, and one that TJ should be incredibly excited about is Rift's changing publishing companies / systems.
Yes.
And that one was that one Steve made mention of, along with Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Dude, the show, the movie looks amazing. I saw the trailer for it.
The movie looks all right, but it's in the Harry Potter franchise, which was a really good series of films, but I feel like kind of that story is closed, and I'm not one of the like super fans that's just going to eat up anything that comes out because it's in the same world.
Yeah.
I liked that story. I don't know if I care enough to go into another running franchise based off of like, oh, it happens to be in that world. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're gonna have. I mean, ultimately, that was such a cash cow that we're gonna have it anyway. So you might as well sit back, click on that.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be on my list of things that I'm excited about for this year.
That's all right, gentlemen.
Each their own. In particular, the one that I thought you should be excited with was the Rift's changing of systems,
which is interesting. We'll see how it goes. I am excited to see it, but I don't know if it'll actually come out this year. So
fingers crossed, because
fingers crossed. You know what? When it comes to things that I'm looking forward to and role playing games, they never come out. So
like your Exalted book.
like my
Right. Okay, so we are like really out of time now at this
What?
point. So
What?
yeah.
And I keep bringing things up, and you keep going. We gotta go.
Well,
it's time-
because Jay, I'm
you
trying.
have to go to work.
Yeah.
I quit. All right, I'm done.
All right, Jay
So-
just rage quit, man of biscuit. All right, so for Jacob Gamble, for TJ Rathburn, I am RJ Pulaski, and maybe we'll see you next week. I don't know at this
Some
point.
of us will.
Bye-bye.